In today's demo video, we'll continue our series on how UiPath's test data management operates. We'll explore how UiPath apps can be leveraged as a low-code app platform, allowing users to generate realistic test data, either manually or via generative AI. Data will be stored within Data Service, and users will be able to easily upload validated data via SAP to SAP. Lastly, we'll explore how easy it is to consume the data via data-driven testing within UiPath Studio. Before we begin, let's explore some of the challenges with SAP Master Data Management, especially when it comes to business partner master data. Ensuring that test data is consistent across different test environments is crucial. Inconsistencies in test data can lead to misleading test results and may not accurately represent real-world scenarios. Business partner data often has dependencies and integrations with other SAP modules like sales and distribution, materials management, or financial accounting. Even within the data entity itself, business partner data can be spread across 3 different data tables. Regularly refreshing test data to keep it relevant can result in significant environment downtime, which can disrupt testing schedules. So managing the balance between keeping test data fresh and minimizing downtime is a complex challenge where user apps can be leveraged. Since SAP systems are often heavily customized to meet specific business requirements, test data needs to be relevant to these customizations. And this requires significant effort to configure and maintain across different test environments, so SAP SMEs are critical to this process. And lastly, access control and data governance. We want to ensure that only authorized personnel have access to any sensitive data, but also make it easy enough for those that are approved to be able to easily generate and add additional test data to an SAP test environment. Now that we understand our challenges, let's go ahead and take a look at our solution. UiPath Apps allows you to easily create robust interactive web applications. This app took about a day to develop and link to the relevant data entities and process automations that we're about to see. A user has the ability to choose from a large list of test data elements. I'll go ahead and select Business Partner Master Data. When I select this, all elements that are currently within UiPath Data Service are made available to the end user. You'll notice for Business Partner Master Data that this data depends on 3 different data tables. We have the business partner, which includes person data, address data, and SAP Central data. Now, when I add data to one field, it's critical that data is also added to the second 2 data tables, so all tables are kept in sync. Let's go ahead and add some test data. You'll notice that this app contains automatic verification. If I, as a user, attempt to add data that doesn't support specific validation rules, it'll automatically be rejected. In this case, I didn't actually fill out the relevant information on marital status. And so I'll go ahead and add that now. Once added, we can see that this data was saved, and also additional rows full of pre-populated data were automatically added for me to the other 2 data tables. Now, if I didn't want to add this manually, I do have the ability to download a data template. This will take data directly from our storage buckets and download the template, making it available for the end user. We can see the data here in our Downloads folder. I can then choose to use this data and generate synthetic data with it, using our Synthetic Test Data Management Accelerator. Here, I can use a large language model to generate the data for me, using the provided Excel template that I just downloaded. I'll choose my LLM service and the number of rows of data that I want to generate. We can see the data was successfully generated and is also located in my Downloads folder. If I want to take a look at this data, we can see it here. And if I wanted to upload the data to my data service, I do have the ability to do that via the UiPath Data Service user interface as well. Now, before updating my SAP QA environment, I may want to validate data. And this is where we can trigger additional processes to do any data validation on each of these three data entities. Since the data has been validated, we can now choose to execute our SAP BAPI and update the SAP QA environment. Our BAPI operates in the background. Now checking our data, row 135, which was generated earlier, we can see that that data is now inside SAP. If we want to go ahead and update the SAP QA environment again to take the next row of data, we can see that for the data that I entered just now, that it was added to SAP. We can verify that the business partner was actually created by checking it. Searching for our business partner, we see that the Jane Doe business partner was created, and then all of the street, house numbers, and address details were also uploaded accurately. Doing the same for 1001-067, we see that I've been also inserted into the SAP system. With our data successfully generated and loaded into our target system under test, we can now see how easy it is to use that synthetically generated data. A developer can take a test case and add test data to it. This test data will come from data service and the SAP central data person entity. Let's go ahead and add a filter and ensure that we're only retrieving data that has actually successfully been added to SAP. We can take the first three values. With data service, the entity automatically gets added as an argument. As a developer, all I need to do is ensure that that entity is properly mapped to my workflow. To run this, I'll execute it from our Studio Test Explorer. We see our test case executing for each data variation. In Test Explorer, we can see the results. And that's how UiPath Test Data Management can leverage user inputs, generative AI, to automate the provisioning of test data in our system under test and consume it in our workflows via a data-driven approach. Till next time, bye.